Today, on Be Something Wonderful, creating your ideal life in reality is an act of God. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning from the studios of Be Something Wonderful here in the Dutch Caribbean in the beautiful island of Bonaire. I have another powerful video. This comes from one of you that had a comment on the channel yesterday or the day before mentioning that, you know, Tom, I get it, that I am that greater reality, that I'm greater than the conditions and the circumstances. But I keep creating this same old story with my specific person in this third party. And it's exhausting to keep flipping the stories because the thoughts and feelings seem overwhelming. And I can't get over the hurt and the lies. And you even said that third party has always been there from the beginning. But do you see it? Remember, you want to move to that new life, but you keep telling that story from that old identity, from that I am not who I desire to be. That's all that's going on. You say that, yeah, Tom, I even say that I am still and I know that I'm God and I'm in that state of being. But then these thoughts and feelings come and these circumstances and the third party's still there. But do you see that you're not there? When you really know that your source, all other circumstances, all other conditions, everything and everybody else is subordinate, is subjective to that knowing, to that state of being. All other conditions, all other circumstances are irrelevant. But you're making them relevant. You're creating that third party that's been there since the beginning. You're focused on that. Remember, you go, I just want to move to that reality. But remember that with man, that's impossible. Remember what Jesus said, with the focus as the small little me, the limited me, where these conditions are out there and there's a third party and there's a specific person that doesn't want to be with me. It's impossible, but with God, all things are possible. In other words, with that I am awareness that you already are that person you desire to be. Because remember, I am is an act of God. I am not is an act of the little limited me. And that's all that's going on there, right? Remember that you're creating that. You even said that, well, I manifested us reconciling twice, but just to end up not being together again and the third party being there. But do you see, you're not manifesting or creating anything. You're identifying as that little me that's not that person they desire to be yet. And therefore, you're creating that experience of that relationship that's not there or not in the reality or the way or the preferred version that you would like it to be. Manifesting your ideal life in reality is an act of God. That's why God said to Moses, I am that I am. That's my name. That's who I am. Everything and everyone else is subject to or subordinate to who you say you are. You are one with that great I am. You are a divine center of that. It's not the me outside looking in. It's you as the center of reality, as the center of the divine mind. Creating, deciding, perceiving. We can call it manifesting, yes. Your experience of reality. But that's all based on your perception of who you are. Not what your specific person is doing, not what the third party is doing. They have no power and authority. But you're giving all your power and authority over to the conditions, over to the circumstances, over to the specific person, over to the third party. It's not the thoughts, it's not the feelings. You're overwhelmed with the identity of the little me. That's all you're overwhelmed with. Those thoughts and feelings are created from that identification as I am not that person I want to be. Right? You're overwhelmed with the present circumstances, with the past conditions, memories of what you believe is the only reality. The reality where you got hurt, where there were lies, where the third party was always there. Remember, all possibilities exist. And you're not any of them, you're all of them. You see, you're not any one reality, any one identity, any one image. All of those exist within you. You're greater than all of them. They have no life, no light, no way without your awareness. You are the way, you are the light, you are the life of all of it. You are announcing reality, announcing it, your experience of the great I am as one with the great I am in every moment. Everything and everyone else is subject to or subordinate to who you say you are. They're irrelevant, right? I am not is an act of me, the small little me. I want to show this to you today. I am is the only reality. It's an act of God. So you're out here saying, yeah, I'm still and know that I'm God. But the SP, my specific person, still, I'm not blissfully living with him. He ghosted me and he's with that third party. Well, then you're not here. You're not recognizing that you're here. Remember, you're always here, but you're believing you're out here. The small, limited me doesn't create or manifest anything. Because you go, I know I manifested that, the reconciliation. No, you're just manifesting who you're conscious of being. So of course, that it's possible to reconcile, or to be with him or not be with him. But it doesn't matter whether you're with him or not. It matters who you are being. That creates it all. Then decide what experience you want to have of that allness that you are. You create it all. You're saying here, still there's one thing I'm struggling with. So I know this. I know that I'm the center of the divine mind. I know that I'm God, but I'm still struggling. Well, God doesn't struggle. So one thing is everything. It's not just one thing. That's everything. I am either I am that which I desire to be, or I am not. And I am not is impossible. With man, this is impossible, right? We create that impossibility. One thing I'm struggling with, I still end up in the same old dark place. Well, there it is. You never left that same old dark place. Remember, you exist in all realities. You exist in all images. You exist in all versions or possibilities or potential realities. Where you live, where you dwell, is your choice. So you're not ending up in that same dark place. You're choosing to live there. It was the message in Deep Space Nine to Captain Sisko when he was saying to the light, why do you take me here? Why do you take me to the ship where my wife died under that attack over and over again? And they said, we don't take you here. You take us here. You live here. You exist here. Do you see it? You exist in all realities, but where you live, where you dwell is your choice. You are that infinite being. Then the light finally says to them, we cannot give you what you deny yourself. No one can give you what you can keep asking about what do I do now, or what am I doing wrong, but that just keeps creating that idea that there's something wrong, that you're not that who you desire to be, right? Your focus is on this third party, on the hurts, on the images of that unwanted reality. You're not that unwanted reality. So one thing I'm struggling with, I still end up in the same old dark place, creating more of that, same stories. Well, you're not creating more of it. Creation's finished. You're just moving to similar realities, similar versions of you. That I am not. I am the little me with these conditions out there. That's what's happening. It's me in the world, the little me in the world. The little me in the old stories. The little me in the unwanted thoughts. The little me in the negative feelings. Me in the third party. Me in the specific person. Do you see? You keep making it about them. And you being that little me, and they're out there, not conforming to what you desire. And as long as you're doing that, it's impossible, as Jesus said. With men, this is impossible. With the little me, it's impossible. But like the quote that I use often, from that Disney show Loki that one of you wrote on the channel several months ago. It's not about how, when, why, what, all of that. It's not about third parties, your specific person, those what you feel are overwhelming thoughts and feelings or the old stories and memories. Remember, your emotion, your source energy in motion, you're all of this. None of that has power or authority over you. It's about who, and that who is you. Not me, not the little me that feels lied to, disappointed, deceived, right? All of that. It's not that. And you say here, I just want to move to my preferred story, where there's only me and my specific person, no more third party. We're happily and blissfully in love in a committed relationship. And hear this. Do you see? You keep making it about the committed relationship, about the specific person, about the third party. Just move to that identity to you. Remember, what's the relationship that matters between you and you? You and that greater you. You in the divine mind. You as that center. You and you. You keep making it about me and them. Me and these conditions that are unwanted. And as long as you do that, it's impossible. Jesus said it. So that's impossible with your focus on the small, limited me. God will not be mocked. Right? With God, all things are possible. With God, all things are possible. That's clear. God will not be mocked. All things are possible. So when you believe that you're being overwhelmed by circumstances, overwhelmed by thoughts and feelings, overwhelmed by old stories, you're mocking God. Because you are that center of I am awareness. You are all that is. That's powerful today. And then you even say this about the third party. She's always been there since the beginning. It's hard for me to ignore her presence and what she's doing. Well, there you go. You haven't moved. You're not identifying as that greater reality. You're the me looking on that outside of that circle, looking in, wondering, how do I get in there? But you are in there, but you believe you're out here. So she's always been there. That's your story. That's who you're identifying with. It's not about her. She hasn't always been there. Hear this. She hasn't always been there since there is no beginning. There's only who you are identifying with right now. That identity creates your past, present, and future, all of it right now. You're creating the idea that she's been there. You're creating the idea that you can't ignore her presence or what she's doing. You're creating the idea that she's doing things and he's ghosting you. You're creating all of that by this current focus of it's me and them. So the story's not about him, her, or anything or anyone else out there. That's why, do you see, you keep saying, well, I keep telling the old story, but we're not talking about the story of circumstances. We're not talking about telling the story of conditions. We're talking about telling the story of you. It's about you. It's about who, and the who is you. Tell the story. Who are you? And then everything conforms and shapes around that state of being, around that knowing. That's why it's exhausting. You're overwhelmed by the unwanted thoughts and feelings about those stories. Trying to change and flip stories that appear out there. Remember, there's only one story. The first story. The ancient story. I am that I am. That's the story. Before Abraham, I am. Abraham meaning all conditions, all circumstances, all stories, all thoughts. That I am all of it. It's about you. When you make it about you, those conditions and circumstances that you believe are out there will change so fast it will have your head spinning. Right? You are that center. It's about you. Everything and everyone else is irrelevant. It's not about me. It's not about them. It's about I am. I am. That's manifesting your ideal life of reality is an act of God. It's law. It's not an act of me is everything else that says I am not that person I desire to be. I am your host, Tom Kearin. And this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on our videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, the Be Something Wonderful Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/Be Something Wonderful, for joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin, and for being part of our membership channel. We just announced our 6th live stream at the end of this month in June. Not quite the last week, the week before, because I'll be traveling again. We're going to be broadcasting from Ecuador at the end of the month. And join us for the live stream. Send your questions and comments to info@besomethingwonderful.com, the topics that you want to discuss on this live event. And again, I will, like I have with the other live events, I will answer some of your questions on the chat as we're in the live event. Creators, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom Kearin here from the Dutch Caribbean in the beautiful island of Bonaire. Until next time, see you soon.